Right, Phil here, Wings of Pegasus, and I had a little bit of spare time, so I thought I'd whip down an acoustic version of a track called Amelia, which will be on the album once it comes out. Now, I've decided to sit on the squeakiest chair ever. Hopefully that won't affect it too much. Now, the idea that I've got in my head is to play along like a version now, and then play along to that version afterwards, and then hopefully sort of sync it up somehow. But it should work. In my head, I think it's going to be fine. So let's see. Imagine if I told you all the things that I never took the time to tell. Even if I told you, you wouldn't understand that you and I is lost forever. Under all this emptiness, each time I try to get inside, you're on my own, no time for talking. Amelia, Amelia, how could you leave me on this way? I knew I should have stayed away. Amelia, Amelia, there's nothing more left to say. It's time to go our separate ways. They say the time is a healer. I don't believe what they say. I'm broken anyway. Ever since we parted, all this pain started. It's never ending. Under all this emptiness, each time I try to get inside, you're on my own, no time for talking. Amelia, Amelia, how could you lead me on this way? I knew I should have stayed away. Amelia, Amelia, there's nothing more left to say. It's time to go our separate ways. Don't tell me you love me when you're sorry. It's not enough. Ooh, no. Only this time I woke and broken free. Amelia, Amelia, how could you lead me on this way? I knew I should have stayed away. Amelia, Amelia, there's nothing more left to say. It's time to go our separate ways. Amelia, Amelia, how could you lead me on this way? I knew I should have stayed away. Amelia, 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 Amelia. And hello, welcome to tonight's live stream Tuesday. Bit of a different start today, slightly lower tempo than usual. That was due to Amelia being requested over on Patreon, so thank you guys for requesting that one, which we haven't seen in quite a while. But let me get you guys up on screen to see who is in the live chat room tonight. And we have Bev, Billy, Thomas, Neil,
Maiden in Chains, Shawnee Key, Lynn, Lisa, Carla, Marta in there, Robert, Teresa, Susan and Dennis in the house as well. Big shout out to the moderators as they go through there. I think Carla and Susan and Dennis are in the house, and Neil and Laurie are the other moderators. Last time it was just Carla doing all of the moderating, I think, in the last live stream. So thank you to her, but all of the moderators for doing such a fantastic job during these live streams. Now, interestingly, I saw somebody do a comment before we went live, probably about 15 or 20 minutes ago, and they were saying, live streaming again, ? Getting confident. And I mean, it's great that we're getting new viewers, new subscribers, but obviously they haven't seen the channel before, so they think that maybe my first live stream was on Saturday, and now I'm getting confident I'm going to do one on Tuesdays as well. Whereas you guys, this is what's so great about the live streams, is that you guys who have been here since, 3 or 4 years ago will know that we've been live streaming consistently on a Saturday and a Tuesday for I don't know how long, but we haven't missed one in, it's literally years. So it's quite funny when somebody thinks that this might be just the second live stream, and that now I'm getting a bit more confident with it, I might try and do another one. But anyway, let me get you guys up on, you're already on screen, we've done that bit, but let me get my patrons up on screen, because they make this all possible in the first place. The analysis videos, the live streams, everything that I do on the channel, and pretty much just in life in general. So a massive thank you to you guys. You know who you are. Let me try and get things organized, because tonight's likes goal, this is the same goal that we had on Saturday, which was a huge target of 375. So we are going to need every single thumbs up we can muster tonight. Because, again, huge target, but we'll see where we end up by the end of the live stream. And as you come through the door, if you could leave a thumbs up, that would be massively appreciated. Let me see where the live likeometer is at the moment, 152. So we are, I mean, it's a great start to the live stream. We obviously need a little bit of a boost in order to get to 375 by the end of tonight, which will be in about an hour and 5 seconds. We generally go for about an hour and 15 minutes on these live streams. We will be having a pick roulette later on as well, so stay tuned for that. Let me get the donations tab up on screen. As I always say, you don't have to donate, but if you feel the need to, if you can't resist it, then the percentage split is 35 to 45% goes to YouTube through the Super Chat window, and between 3 and 5% goes to PayPal. And there's a PayPal link in the description below if you want to do things that way or the Super Chat way. It's up to you, but just so you know where your donations go, what the percentages are, and of course you don't have to donate at all anyway. Just joining me is amazing. So thank you everybody for joining me on tonight's live stream, and Saturday was a busy one as well. Tonight we're going to just attempt to keep everything going. I always feel like I've forgotten something when I start a live stream, but we have the pick roulette set up, we have the vote for the cover video set up, and I have set those up, so that's fine. We've got some pictures we're going to be looking at later, so that's fine. I think we're pretty much good to go for the rest of the live stream. We will only know if there is a problem when we run into it, but fingers crossed it'll be fine, and we can avoid the trolls and gremlins for tonight, because I know that recently there's been, I mean, like bots as well, like comment bots that just put the same comment up over and over again. So hopefully we can avoid that kind of thing going on. Right, let me just quickly address the donations that came in before we went live, because there were a few of those, and it was Paul who donated first, and that was $2, so thank you for that, Paul. And the message was from Orlando's backup guy, Spike the Likes, so thank you for that, Paul. And then Orlando donated $2 and said Spike the Likes with the thumbs up, and Orlando said, tonight I am Paul's backup. So Just switching roles there, Orlando and Paul, but thank you for that, Orlando. And Jennifer donated $6 as well. Thank you for that. And the message is, hi Phil, do drummers in pro bands wear any kind of ear protection? If so, what kind? If not, why not? Surprised more 60s band members are not deaf. So thank you for that. And I think nowadays drummers wear ear protection. You might actually see them with ear protectors on, like the same type that guys wear when they're drilling. You'll see like workmen outside drilling into concrete. They always have the ear protectors on. So some drummers do actually wear the full thing. Others, obviously, it depends what a drummer likes and their preference for having in-ears or having outside of their ears, or just like earphones over the top with in-ears inside. And when I'm talking about in-ears, I'm talking about sometimes you can have earplugs that are in-ear monitors as well. So you get a feed that goes through the middle of the in-ear monitor, so it's cutting out all of the rest of the sound apart from what you want to hear. And that's something that you can have live done through the desk and have the mix that you want in your ears. Or drummers sometimes just wear headphones, and generally you'll see drummers wearing headphones when they have a click track going as well. So they are drumming along to their click track, which they have nice and loud in their ears, get that tempo down, and it protects their ears at the same time. So it's kind of a 2-in-1 job, but it's just personal preference what they want to wear. I would be surprised if a professional drummer is not using some kind of protection for his ears, considering that his ears are his livelihood. He's got to be able to hear what he's drumming to, so you got to take care of your ears and, you know, your hands, your arms, your body in general, because that is the thing that you're using to make money. So yeah, I'd be surprised. I mean, a lot of guys from the 60s either used to wear some kind of earplugs, probably the old-fashioned, you know, foam ones, and shove loads of foam into their ears, or if they didn't, most likely they are now deaf or are hard of hearing. And I know that, you know, Phil Collins, for example, has, you know, made it widely known that he never used to wear earplugs, and that's why then in later life, I think I saw that he's pretty much lost his hearing, you know, now. It's just a gradual deterioration from when he used to play, and then just gradually getting worse and worse and worse. And then you got, you know, tinnitus, which is something that, yeah, can be a bit of a nightmare when you get a ringing in your ears. Especially, I think a lot of people will be able to relate to this if you've been to a party and the music's been really loud, and then when you go home and you try to go to sleep, you've got the ringing in your ears. Tinnitus is that, but it never goes. So that's another massive reason to try and protect your ears as much as possible, because imagine that ringing never stopping, so that you're struggling to hear things because of the ringing in your ears. So a real nightmare scenario to be in. And yeah, that's then potentially going to lead to, you know, mental problems and depression and all those kinds of things, because you can't get rid of this ringing in your ears. So when I was, I think 23 or 24, I wasn't wearing any protection when we were, you know, rehearsing, playing live, and then we're playing in a really small venue, and I had to be right next to the drummer, and the drummer that we had at that time had loads of cymbals, kind of 4 or 5 cymbals, and I was next to it, so it was literally about here, and I'd be playing my guitar, and that's where the cymbal was, and I had nothing to protect my ears of him smacking that cymbal right next to my ear. And after that gig, I remember that when you kind of go out into, you know, the crowd afterwards and talk to people, I couldn't hear what people were saying because of the ringing in my ear. And fortunately, it was something that, yeah, I mean, it hasn't totally gone away, because I spent quite a few years from, probably the age of 19 to 23 or 24. So we're talking maybe 5 years of not wearing anything, but that was enough to give me a slight ringing in my ears. So I have got tinnitus, but at a really low level. So it means that if I'm sat in a perfectly silent room and with no kind of, you know, distractions going on, then I'll quite clearly hear the tinnitus that I have. But when I'm, doing this kind of thing, talking, playing guitar, it's at a low enough level that I don't hear it. So I'm not that badly affected. And that is purely because when I was, 23, 24 and had that ringing, I realised I don't want that for the whole of my life. So from then on, I religiously wore earplugs for every single gig, and I still do. If I would ever play live, I would always be wearing earplugs, and it's just a non-negotiable for me to make sure that I can still hear things clearly. But I think I had the advantage of hearing or experiencing what it would be like, and the tinnitus probably lasted for a day or two after that, and then thankfully it went down to a level where I can now hear everything else in the world above the ringing sound. So like I said, with drummers, I'd be very surprised if they're not using some kind of protection for their ears if that is their job. But even if it's not your job and you do play the drums, I mean, drummers are going to be more affected unless they're playing on an electric kit and they can turn it down and put headphones on. But if you're playing an acoustic kit, make sure you take care of your ears. And I know that all young guys who are like in their teenage years, maybe early 20s like I was, might think, oh, it's not very cool, to wear, earplugs and all that kind of stuff. Even to the point now where if I'm going out to an event and I know there's going to be loud music, I take my earplugs in my pocket just in case it is a bit too loud, because I mean, at some of these venues you have music and the DJ doesn't really know, and the venue doesn't know what a safe limit is, and they just put it up so loud that you're shouting and you can't hear what you're saying to the person in front of you. That's too loud if the music is that loud. So I always take ear plugs, not headphones, but ear plugs that I put inside my ears. And fortunately, because of my hair as it is, nobody can tell that I've got them in because it's underneath my hair. So I kind of get away with it. And generally, it means that you can hear people more clearly when they're talking to you because you're cutting out all of that high-end frequency, which is very much the part of the sound, or the volume is interpreted in the high-end frequency in your ears. So that's why you can't hear anything. As soon as you cut all of that out, put earplugs in, then you can start to hear things a lot more clearly, including the band and the vocals in the band. So sometimes it's a good thing to do. Anyway, but thank you for that, Jennifer. This is... again, something I could talk about for years, and I think I've already been talking about 15 minutes on it, but thank you for that donation. I think it's a really important point to bring up, and just to mention to young people who might not think it's cool. When you're older and you have tinnitus, you definitely won't think that tinnitus is cool. You won't be thinking, yeah, but it was worth it when I was younger because I looked really cool. It's something that doesn't go away. So imagine being in your 30s or your 40s, and until you die, you're going to hear that ringing. So just put yourself in that position. It's not a large sacrifice to make at all for the future of your ears. But anyway, thank you for that, Jennifer. Orlando donated $2 again in the super chat window. Thank you for that, Orlando. And the message was, greetings from sunny Florida, with a picture of a sun there. Thank you for that, Orlando. And Orlando did mention to us in the last live stream on Saturday that he would be on location in Florida tonight. So Orlando is tuning in. Stardust Unicorn support band to Wings of Pegasus have donated $1.49. Thank you for that. And there's another rainbow with that donation. Another one's come in underneath from M for $5. So thank you for that, M. And the message is, hello, Phil and friends. So everybody say hello to M in that live chat room. Right, we are going to quickly just jump into PayPal because it's a good opportunity to get up to date with I think just one donation that came in between the live streams and this one, and it was from Tammy. I think it was just earlier tonight, and Tammy donated £10, so thank you for that, Tammy. And the message is, hi Phil, how long does it normally take you to write a song? So thank you for that. And I think this is one of those questions that has been asked before on the live streams. It depends if you're talking about writing a song or recording a song, because once you've written a song, that process can be really quick. Like I always give the example of my song Paris Nord, which took about I don't know, half an hour to an hour to write, which means you've got all of your chords, you've got all of your lyrics, and the song is ready. But in order now to record it, you've now got to get down the drums, the bass, the guitar, the vocals, the backing vocals. You've got to mix it. You've then got to, you've got to listen to that mix over a period of probably days or weeks, maybe even months for some people, to listen to the mix and just tweak the mix so you're listening to it with fresh ears. As they call it, or maybe just I call it that, but listening to it with fresh ears, because sometimes you can get so far down a rabbit hole of mixing that you're making adjustments that actually you shouldn't be making. So this is why it's great just to leave a mix, go away, and I generally just did it the next day. So then I'd start it up in the afternoon or the evening and then start working on the mix again, stop for that night, watch TV or whatever, go to bed, wake up the next day and hit it again in the afternoon, have a listen to the mix, and you're gradually just editing your mix, not in one massive session of like doing 7 or 8 or 9 days in a row where you're not really taking a step away. And that, obviously you can tell from that process that it takes a hell of a lot longer to record a song than it does to write a song. And generally, the production of a song will take a very long time. That's why I think in the last live stream I mentioned about the album that I did, because I was doing it all myself. It meant that it took probably about 6 months to get all the instruments down, get the backing vocals, lead vocals, and then do all of the mixing of every single track, because you want every track to sound related to the previous track. So if you have an album where all of the songs sound different, then it's not going to be very good. And when I say sound different, I mean from a production standpoint. So track 1, you'll have, for example, Paris Nord with how that sounds. Track 2, you'd have, and this isn't the order of my album, I'm just hypothetically, track 2 you might have Greed, but now it sounds like you're using a different drum kit. The guitar tone's totally different. My voice sounds different because I've used a different mic and it's not quite EQ'd correctly. And then you go to the third track and now the guitar tone's changed again and my vocal sounds different again. These are all things that stylistically you can do that if you want to, but generally when you listen to an album, it doesn't sound like you're using a different drum kit on every single track. It sounds like the same drum kit for the whole album. So this is something that you've got to try and keep in mind when you're mixing, just getting a consistent mix across all of your tracks and getting consistent levels so that you don't then go to the next song and it's now really quiet compared to one that previously was a lot louder. And I know that the mastering process is something that you use to address these kinds of issues, but if you give a mastering engineer a song where you've maxed out, compressed it to within an inch of its life so that he can't really do with anything with it dynamically, and then you've got another song that now is really quiet, you're making his job really difficult because the compressed song he's now got to try and bring down in volume and boost the one and try and match them, but this sounds a bit distorted because it's been overly compressed. So that's the problem, that getting your levels relatively consistent across all 11 songs in my case. These are all things that you've got to do as a producer, and somebody that does it themselves is all at your fingertips. You've got to make sure that everything is taken care of like a professional studio would do. In a professional studio, you would have a technician, you'd have a producer, you probably have the band's manager in there as well. You might have people from the record label sitting in on the sessions, just talking about what sound they're going for and what needs to be tweaked. They'll be talking to the producer as to what to tweak. So when you do it all yourself, you're making all of these decisions. So that's why it takes so long to record a song. But writing, it can take anywhere from half an hour to an hour to then months, maybe 2 or 3 months. If you've just got an idea and it's not quite come together and you can't really get a chorus or a progression into the chorus that you like, and the chorus just maybe isn't doing it for you, it doesn't stand out enough, then you can have a song or an idea that lasts for months and you haven't quite finished it. But then one day you'll play something and think, oh, this would be great for the chorus of that song, and then you'll be fine. And I think that Percy Johnson, probably to relate it to one of my songs, was one of those songs that I had, I think, the verse for, or no, maybe the chorus I had for ages, but then I didn't have a verse and I didn't have a middle eight, so I just had to wait for that to kind of happen by itself, which it did, thankfully. Anyway, thank you. Did I just say anywhere or anyway? Anyway and anywhere. We're going to be going during this live stream. It's always the case. We do pretty much go anywhere. I think last time we started talking about, diet and all that kind of stuff again, and personal training, exercise, but we'll see where we end up with tonight's live stream. But thank you for that, Tammy. And I just want to scroll up because let me just scroll up. I don't think it has quite scrolled up. There we go, that's a bit better. Right, let me just scroll down because this is from Steve, who has donated £5. So thank you for this, Steve. And the message is there a path back to real musicians playing real music on real instruments from today's world of computers, sampling, etc.? So thank you for that, Steve. And I mean, again, this is a question that can be debated for a very long time. I don't know, it's a difficult one because I feel like that the reason that a lot of old music is now becoming more popular, and you get loads of channels on YouTube that are reaction channels listening to music for the first time. I think that's to be taken with a pinch of salt. I've spoken to a lot of YouTube channels, similar channels to mine, like analysis videos or guitarists breaking down particular videos. Chris Lipe, who I've done a video with. I'll give you an update on that in a second. But yeah, Chris Lipe breaking down vocal techniques, and I think a lot of creators on YouTube and people that do the analysis kind of videos, certainly the reaction videos, people saying that it's the first time they've ever heard a particular song, I think you've got to take that with a pinch of salt, because some of the songs they're doing, you literally cannot avoid having heard those songs no matter where you come from. I mean, if it's in a civilized country and it's not in the jungle somewhere and they're in a tribe, they would have heard those songs before, but they know that by featuring those songs, they do, unfortunately, a lot of searching on YouTube to see which songs get the most views on reaction channels, and then sure enough they'll start following up with first time ever hearing, and then it'll be that song that all the other reaction channels are doing, and they're all getting a lot of views, and they all jump on that bandwagon pretending that they've never heard it before. And yeah, I mean, the good thing about those videos, if you are making them, is that you don't need any, because you're watching it for the first time, they all pretty much just tend to say, oh wow, this is amazing, it's great, first time I've ever heard it, fantastic, can't believe it, blows my mind, etc, etc, and then they say please like and subscribe, and then they'll move on to the next video and just say that exact same thing that they've just said about the previous video. So they don't need to know the chords or the ranges of the singer, the actual technique being used to sing. And I have mentioned this before, that on YouTube now, on the copyright claims form or the dispute, they've now put a little bit more detail in there, saying that if you're not teaching, if you're not effectively analysing the music you're listening to, then it's not covered by fair use. Even if you write out at the bottom of your video that it's fair use, it doesn't make it fair use. And that's something that I've actually mentioned on live streams before, but it's interesting to see that YouTube have now updated what they say. I think just following the amount of reaction channels there are that just watch something and then say it's great, and that isn't teaching, that isn't transformative, that's just somebody watching something saying that they think it's great, but that hasn't transformed your perception of the song. You don't know what key it's in, you don't know what the notes are, you don't know how the singer's doing what they're doing, they don't know the techniques that are being used on the guitar. So yeah, a lot of those, I think, unfortunately, would fall foul of the fair use law if they were ever taken to court. And yeah, I'm not sure that's ever going to happen, but if a record label wanted to take individual creators to court, they would have a hell of a lot of channels to choose from who aren't teaching, who aren't transformative in their view of what they're using. But anyway, Getting back to this question, we are in this situation where, computers are used a lot. And I like to think that because of the popularity of people listening to the older music through reaction channels, I'm hoping and, thinking maybe in the future it will go back to, people actually, having to play live and sing live and not have to mime or, mime playing their instruments live, and that you will actually get real bands. There are still bands out there that are doing it, but I think it's fair to say they are in the minority. That pretty much the mainstream music industry is very much set up in that way that you're not really going to get, especially on chat shows and that kind of stuff, you're not going to get live instrumentation or live vocals being laid down. So it's again very difficult to say, because the popularity on YouTube, it might be people just jumping on the reaction bandwagon and just looking at all the same performances and pretending that they really like it because they know they'll get views from the other people who have done the same thing, and they just kind of follow suit. So it's very difficult to say whether it's genuinely becoming more popular or people are doing it to get more views on YouTube, but I'm hoping that it's the former rather than the latter, that people are enjoying the older music more. And I think generally with the people that I talk to on YouTube and other creators, like I said, with Chris and Michael Palmazzano, who's been on the channel as well, they do prefer the older kinds of music and the older way of doing it. But that's not to say that you can't use modern technology to give yourself a unique sound artistically. And that's something certainly that I know Chris has looked at auto-tune and those kinds of things before in a creative sense, in an artistic sense. And I think that's absolutely fine when people are using things like that to get their own sound and to do something slightly different with their own music. It's when you're then relying, it's like auto-tune and pitch correction is a crutch because you can't do it to that level, so you start having to use that to get your pitch more accurate. I think that's where people start to have a bit of a problem with it. But anyway, thank you for that, Steve. I mean, again, we've already had a couple of questions that we could be debating and talking about for years. But by the way, I know it's already 25 to 1 in the morning here, but we have a vote going on for tonight's cover video, and it's between Don't Stop Believin' and Miles Away by Winger, and Don't Stop Believin', of course, by Journey. So it looks like Don't Stop Believin' is in the lead at the moment, 63% of the vote. So we will see where we end up with that. We'll probably be jumping into that in maybe 5 or 10 minutes time, so get your votes in. If there are any Winger fans out there, I am one myself, but I'm not sure how many others are out there. But if you can click on that Miles Away, that would be great. But alternatively, if you want to hear Don't Stop Believing, click on that one. So anyway, let me just quickly jump into the PayPal window just to get up to date with that. Because Maria has donated £1.52. Thank you for that, Maria. And the message is, spike the likes, everyone. And I'm getting older on Friday. So thank you for that, Maria. And everyone can say a future happy birthday to Maria for Friday. And technically, we're all getting older all the time. I'm older now than I was when I started the live stream, but that's just life. Thank you for that donation, Maria, and I hope you have a fantastic day on Friday. So let me just scroll up, because there has been another donation that's come in from Geraldine, who has donated £7.59. So thank you for that. And the message is, are you naturally unself-conscious, or did you have to develop it? So thank you for that. And I'm not sure. I know that I was self-conscious about going out into London, without a top on, playing my guitar, doing that particular video. But what I found is that having that self-consciousness and the nervousness is a feeling that for me personally, I can take that feeling and I can throw it away for a while, however long I want to throw it away for. And then once I've stopped whatever I'm doing, and then consciously it will come back instantly as soon as I've stopped that. So maybe that's something that other people can't do, but it really does mentally feel like I throw it away, that self-consciousness, and I then it comes back. I then come back to my normal state of mind, as I would say, where I think everybody's self-conscious about pretty much everything. But in terms of doing that video, yes, very self-conscious, but then not self-conscious for the duration of filming the video. Probably back to being self-conscious if I was ever to watch the video back. So I don't tend to watch myself back because I'm then in the self-conscious part. But I think for these kinds of things like analysis videos and live streams, when I first started doing them, I was maybe self-conscious, but I think it's like anything in life. If you just do something over and over and over again, you're practicing it, you're getting better at doing it, so then you do become unself-conscious, or you become self-consciously good at whatever you're doing. It's just like playing the guitar. I would say that doing live streaming and organizing everything that I've got on screen, uploading pictures, doing all that kind of stuff, organizing the screen so that I can see what's going on in the live chat room all the time, and we can see that Orlando's about to go through with a donation. All of these things that I'm looking at, keeping organized during the live stream, that to begin with would have taken a lot of concentration for me to keep an eye on everything, to make sure that where the vote is for the video, for the cover video, what I want to mention in the live stream, looking into the donations tabs, looking at the likes, seeing the comments go through. When I first started, that was a lot of information, but it's like playing a D chord or an A chord on the guitar. To begin with, that's going to be really difficult, and it's going to take all of your conscious mind and thought to be able to do that. But when you start playing for a few months, you now don't realize that that's now subconscious. You can do a D shape, you can do an A shape, you can do a G. You don't have to think about it. And that's exactly the same here, that with live streaming, you just get into the mindset of just doing it, and a lot of this now takes care of itself. You're always subconsciously looking around, but the information is going in without having to think so much about it. So I would say that subconsciously you get better at doing live streams and stuff where you're now not self-conscious because you've done so many of them. Like I said, probably 3 or 4 years without missing one. So a lot of practice at doing live streams and doing analysis videos as well. But yes, certainly the self-consciousness part of self-consciousness and not subconsciousness. I'm not sure whether I've been saying self-conscious or subconscious, but this all becomes subconscious, like playing the guitar, but the self-consciousness of being embarrassed or people looking at you and all that kind of thing when you're running around with your shirt off, that is still there, but I can control that and just get rid of it whenever I want to, which might be just a gift that I have, and that's certainly something that I didn't have a problem with when I did the auditions on that TV show, The X Factor. So interestingly, somebody commented on a video that I did. I can't remember what it was, but it was either an auto-tune video or an audition video that I did an analysis video of, and somebody said underneath, how can you not know who the judges are? You've got no idea what you're talking about. And then they went on to explain what happens on the TV shows. And I just had to say to them underneath, I have been on the TV show. And I think he said, how can I not know who Simon Cowell is? And I said to him that I wasn't referring to Simon Cowell in the video. I didn't know who the other judges were. I know who Simon Cowell is because he has to pay me every time they show my audition, because I played That's Metal, which is a song that I own. I own all of my own publishing. So it means that, Simon Cowell has to pay me. So I know him very well. And I know his production company, his record label, which, actually Psycho is the name of his company. But I know very well who he was. So I had to explain to him that I have been on a TV show going through the audition phases and the different phases that they have. They have 3 or 4 producer auditions before you even get to the TV stages. So this is why I said in my comment that the TV shows, I think, do a lot more harm than good. They harm more people than they help. Because yes, you might find somebody who's very talented and they go on to have a successful career, but for that one person, they have allowed through hundreds, I mean tens of hundreds, maybe thousands of people telling them that they are through to the next round 3 times or 4 times. So these people think that they're getting through because they're talented. They get up on stage in front of the TV crew, now in front of the celebrity judges, and everyone laughs at them, and they are the laughing stock for the whole country on TV, and they've been told that they've got through because they are good. So that's where I think it harms a lot more people than it helps, because it's great when you find somebody who's talented, but for that one talented person, you don't see the thousands of people who are now effectively and probably genuinely depressed at thinking that they were good. They thought they had a great voice. They thought, maybe I'm going to be able to do this as a career, but then they realised when they got on stage that, oh no, they've been put there so people can laugh at them and they can be shown on TV and everyone can have a good laugh at their expense. And then they go home and obviously people now recognise them on the street and people are laughing at them on the street, but this is the side that you don't get to see on the TV shows, unfortunately. It's all about the money and exploiting a lot of people, unfortunately, but that's just the way it is, sadly. But anyway, thank you for that, Geraldine, for that donation, and the question as well. Valerie has donated £5.98. Thank you for that, Valerie. That is a straight up donation without a message. Carla has donated £8.19. Thank you for that, Carla. That is another straight up donation. And Tony has donated £7.59. So thank you for that, Tony. Right. Let's try to keep everything organised on the screen. Where are we at with our likes? We are at 279 so far. That means we are looking for 96. Is that correct? And it's just jumped. So that's just made a mockery of my maths, trying to work out how many we need. But thank you for hitting that thumbs up. Great time to have a spike of the likes. We didn't even have a plug of the mug, which we always do when Orlando donates and then when Paul donates. So I don't know why that didn't happen. But here's a plug of the mug. If you want to get your hands on the Spike the Likes mug, it says, you probably just saw that, and the logo on the other side. It actually says Livestream Tuesday on that mug. That's why I always have this mug on a Tuesday, because this is specifically for this live stream. If you want to get your hands on any of the merchandise, the mug, the hoodie, there's actually multiple hoodies. There's a couple, like a zipped version, a non-zip version. You got the hats, you got the t-shirts, you got, the tumblers as well. If you want to get your hands on any of that, click on the tray underneath this video or click on the link in the description below. That'll take you through to spring.com and you'll be able to check out all of the merchandise. So let's keep everything organised. The likes are going well. We'll see. If you haven't hit that thumbs up, great time to do it. Be much appreciated if you could, because it really does help this live stream to get out there and for the just whole channel to grow on the whole. So let's maybe have a check at the time. It's 1:45 already, so let's bring the cover video vote to an end and see which one was on top. We left it at, I think, 60 odd % for Don't Stop Believing, so I think it would take a lot to overturn that. And it looks like, Don't Stop Believing has had 62% of the vote tonight, so we will be jumping into that cover. Just quickly, before we do get into that cover video, to mention that the Chris Lipe video that we did looking at Led Zeppelin, I've edited the first half of that together. I think it's about 15 or 17 minutes in length. So that's been done. As I mentioned to you guys over on Patreon last night, that has been copyright claimed, which means it hasn't been blocked. But I thought, today, I mean, I did that post yesterday saying that I might be able to upload it, considering the fact that it hasn't been blocked, because we thought it might get blocked outright. But what I have done today is I've filled in the copyright claim form in order to claim for its use or its freedom from the copyright claim due to fair use, because the video is most certainly fair use. And yeah, all of the things that you have to fill out for the copyright claim in order to exclude or make your video exempt from the copyright claim, it's all about fair use, and you have to type in exactly what it's about, because they're starting to clamp down on it a little bit more. But the good thing is it does qualify as fair use. So now it's going to be reviewed by the publishing company that own the song. And the songwriters, obviously, they won't be looking at it themselves. You know, we're talking about, you know, Jimmy himself and Robert, they're the songwriters, so they won't be looking at, I mean, they might do. You never know, but I'm assuming they've got people that do that for them, who look at the video and they see that it's fair use. And if they do that, they could clear it within, I don't know, a few days possibly. If they don't review it themselves manually, then after 10 days it's automatically now classed as fair use and public, and I can upload it. So the reason that I'm doing that, and the reason that I'm now going to be potentially waiting for 10 days, is that Chris mentioned he had a video that was, I think it was actually the collaboration that we did before on his channel, that was copyright claimed. He released it, and then after 2 or 3 days it got copyright blocked, so they changed the claim into a block. So the reason that I'm now, you know, appealing and getting it overturned is that once it's free of that claim, it then can't be blocked. So as soon as I upload it, it will be on the channel for, you know, the duration. It's not going to suddenly disappear. So that's why I've decided to go down that route rather than releasing it earlier but potentially it getting blocked further down the line. So just to let you guys know, that is the state of play on the Chris Lipe video. Quick update for the Moises app. I'm going to be doing a video next month, or where are we? Oh, technically the 1st of June here in the UK. So I will be doing it this month. Just focusing on the Moises app. We're still sorting out, unfortunately, the contracts between myself and Moises to organise it all. We're using they're using a third-party company to do that, and I need to create an account. And on my tablet, when I was trying to do it, I couldn't choose the country because the scroll didn't work on their website. So I'm going to have to do that. But that is due to be done this month. So look out for that. I'm going to try and make sure that you guys know exactly when that video comes out, because it's going to be a huge video for just showing musicians, teachers, fans of music what you can do nowadays with isolating software. And it's really easy to use. You can do so much with it. But as I said, that's going to be coming later in the month. So I'll try and make sure that you guys get notified as much as possible from me on the channel as to when that video comes out, because you don't want to miss it. Right, let's jump into the cover for tonight, and then we'll get into the pictures and the pick roulette as always. But I'll see you guys after this. It's my version of Don't Stop Believing by Journey, of course, and I'll see you guys in a second. Rock!
Small town girl living in a lonely world. She took the midnight train going anywhere. Just a city boy, born and raised in South Detroit. He took the midnight train going anywhere.
for watching my cover of Don't Stop Believing by Journey. The names you can see here are my patrons. Hi patrons, thanks so much for your support and for making videos like this possible. If you want to get involved yourself and if you want to talk to me and maybe suggest some other songs that I can cover, head to this website down here, patreon.com/Wings of Pegasus. And if I don't see you on Patreon, I'll see you at the next video. Have a great day. Rock.
And there we have it. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. Thank you for voting for a bit of Don't Stop Believing tonight, and for you guys suggesting that or requesting it over on Patreon. So let me just get into the donations quickly, then we will jump into the pictures and then the pick roulette. Let me just scroll up a little bit because Jennifer donated $5. Again, thank you for that, Jennifer. And the message was, Phil, on that subject, and this sounds dumb, can you get the same problem when you are making a recording? Now, this is probably quite a while ago, so I'm not sure what the subject was, but relating it to the previous question that Jennifer asked, which was about wearing, headphones or wearing earplugs or that kind of stuff. Some people do record at really high volumes, and yes, that can still damage your ears, so it is something that can happen in the studio as well. And relating it to the other question that we were talking about, where writing a song, might take a really long time, and then it takes a long time to get it down in the studio as well. Sometimes when you are making your songs in the studio and you're mixing them, that could be a potentially never-ending process, that you're not quite happy with the mix, you change it, you're not quite happy with the mix again, you change it, you're not quite happy with the mix, and you're never ever quite happy. I don't think anyone's ever 100% happy with a mix and an overall sound, but you get it as close as you can get it and then accept, right, doing any more, it means I'll never release my songs or my album. So it's just gets to a point where you just accept, right, I'm happy with how that sounds, and if there is a little problem with it in the future here and there, you just got to deal with it yourself, and you want to make sure that you iron out any of the main issues that annoy you. And once those are ironed out and you've got your mix, then pretty much it's okay to then get it mastered, get it released, and you shouldn't have, like, for example, on my album, I got to a point where I was happy with all of the mixes. There wasn't any part in the album where I'm just thinking of things that go through and you think, oh yeah, but you would have liked to have sung that again or sung that line. Of course, there are going to be lines on the album or vocals on the album that might be, I don't use auto-tune or pitch correction, so there might be a few notes that I hear as slightly sharp or slightly flat, but I think I hear them as that, but other people don't, because I'm focusing in a ridiculous amount of detail on my own voice, because I know my own voice very well. So there are things that you think, maybe I should have sung that bit again or this bit again. But I got to a point where I was happy with the overall sound of the album and all the mixes. So I then said, right, that is it. Stop there. Get it released. So you can't make any money from your album until you release it. So all of those months you've spent making the album, not making any money, and putting in all of your time, multiple hours a day, you've got to release something. You've got to put something out there to try and now start to recoup some of that time and effort that you've put into it. So you've got to draw the line in the sand somewhere. But anyway, thank you for that, Jennifer. Hopefully that's relating it to what we were talking about, or what the subject was. Thank you, Lisa, as well. Lisa A in the house, who has $10 donation, or who has donated $10. Thank you for that, Lisa A. The message is, hey Phil, my 3 granddaughters, Lucy 3 and the twins 2, love when I play your CD and the BCR have you ever thought of doing some songs for little ones? Not necessarily lullabies. I think you'd be good at it. So thank you for that, Lisa. I haven't thought of doing lullabies. Not really something that's crossed my mind. I think probably a large part of that is because I don't know very many lullabies. Like when my nephews were having lullabies sung to them, I was thinking, I don't know these. Or I know Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. I'm trying to think of any other ones that I know. This proves my point. I don't really know lullabies, so that's probably a reason why I haven't thought about singing them or recording them. I'm not a good person. I'd have to actually do some research before. If I'm reading it out of a book, that's fine. Anyone can do that. But knowing them off by heart, I'm not good at those at all. But anyway, thank you for that, Lisa A. Orlando has donated $2 as well. Thank you for that, Orlando, again. And the message is happy early birthday, Maria Day, with lots of cake and pictures and stuff there. Thank you for that, Orlando. And LaBelle has donated £5. So thank you for that, LaBelle. The message has been deleted, but thank you for that donation. Orlando has donated $2 again and says, spike the likes, we need more likes with the thumbs up. And that is true. We're still looking for 30 people. I think 40, 50, 60, 70. Yeah, that's right. 30 people in that live chat room to hit that thumbs up to get us to our target for tonight. It is, as I said at the beginning of the live stream, a huge target. We've probably only got 14 minutes left of the live stream, so we are racing against that target of 375 to have a pick roulette next Tuesday. I mean, I think we really are at the top end of what we can achieve with our likes. So anybody that joins in with that live chat room, if you haven't used your thumbs up, it'd be massively appreciated if you could do that. And 5 people answered the call. We're now looking for 25, 24. And let's get just into those donations again, because Paul donated $2 and said what Orlando said with a smiley face. So thank you for that, Paul, backing up Orlando as always. I think there's one more at the bottom of the screen there, and it is Lisa W, who has donated $5. Thank you for that, Lisa. And the message is, if you put all your patrons' names at the end of a video now, it would look like a list of movie credits. Laugh out loud. So thank you for that, Lisa. It would indeed. And you can tell on the very early videos where there might be 10 names or 20 names. And yeah, now I think there are 410 patrons over on patreon.com/Wings of Pegasus. So things certainly have taken off slightly. And yeah, 410 names is a lot. And their names go across the bottom of the screen here. And as you can tell, that list that goes throughout the whole live stream takes a very long time before it goes back to the beginning where it says sponsored by the Wings of Pegasus patrons. So yeah, lots of names, but just amazing that there is so much support over on Patreon, and just allow me to keep on pushing forward with everything that I do on the channel, and you know, the collaboration with Chris and all of these different things are just made possible by you guys, your very kind donations, and your support over on patreon.com/Wings of Pegasus. Let me just give that site a plug. It was at the end of the cover video, but this is where everybody supports me and allows me to do this, exactly what I'm doing here. If you want to get involved over there, you can jump over to that website, and you will then get a direct link or a direct message option to me. I do check my messages every night and answer all of those as well. So you can head over there if you want to, but you don't have to. Just watching the videos and, you know, maybe an occasional thumbs up would be fantastic. So let's now jump into some pictures. So we'll get that on screen. I have to go to a different place in order to grab these. Let me just get this organized, because this is the one actually that we had not in the last live stream, but I did say that I would put it up on this live stream, and it is Anna, and here she is with her Wings of Pegasus tumbler. So thank you for uploading that one, Anna. And yes, unfortunately we couldn't get it onto the last live stream, but there it is now, and I found the picture eventually. Right, let's now jump into Teresa's picture. And this is the Wings of Pegasus tumbler again. I think this is going to be something that's going to be popular to have for the summer, because it's going to keep your drinks nice and cool, but it also keeps your drinks warm if you want in the winter time. Anyway, this was, I believe, at the World War I memorial as well. So thank you for uploading that, Teresa. And I think this is a bit of an update. This actually doesn't have anybody in the picture, but I know that this is an update from Kevin, who is now in, or was in, the Hard Rock Cafe in Newcastle, which is I'm trying to do an accent and absolutely failing at the Newcastle accent. It's very much different to the accent you'll hear me talk with, but a lot of people down south talk with. So thank you for uploading that one, Kevin, because we then had a follow-up and we can see a little bit of Eddie Van Halen going off in the background there. Obviously Kevin's in the foreground with his Wings of Pegasus mask on, but yeah, I believe that'll be it's a bit small to see, but I believe that'll be Eddie Van Halen with some stage gear going on there that a lot of people will know Eddie Van Halen's guitar and the way that it looks and how that coincides. Anyway, thank you for that, Kevin, and I think those are the pictures for tonight. Right, and we are back on screen. Let me just quickly jump into that PayPal donations window, because I think another one's just popped in there, maybe. And it is Mark, who has donated £5. So thank you for that, Mark. And the message is back up to the backups, Marco. So thank you for that. Marco, I must remember that Mark with a C is actually Marco before we get to the message, before I scroll down. But thank you for that one. And Lisa F has donated £12.34, a 1, 2, 3, 4. Thank you for that. And the message is congratulations on 260k. Shout out to the Lisa trifecta and all the other wingers. So thank you for that, Lisa. And yeah, everyone say a big hello to Lisa. And it looks like we have hit the Pick Roulette likes goal. Unbelievable. So thank you guys for hitting that thumbs up. That is amazing. And yeah, I think, where did I see? I think I saw Lucy saying goal across that live chat room. And it hasn't actually gone through yet, but Orlando says we did it with lots of thumbs up. So great, thank you guys for hitting that thumbs up. Fantastic news that we will have a Pick Roulette next week. Speaking of which, let's jump into tonight's Pick Roulette, and then I'll pick a top tip who's definitely probably going to lose, so apologies for that in advance. But let's jump into tonight's Pick Roulette, and I'll see you guys in a second. Rock. So let's get the roulette wheel up on screen, and there it is. Right, I'm just having a little look to see which name I can pick off the wheel. Okay, I mean, I don't know why I'm thinking about this. It's not really going to make any difference. But let's go for Tom Gibbons. Right, let me write down Tom's name. Apologies for that, Tom. Tom is the top tip for tonight. And the t-shirts are here, by the way, the darker segments of the t-shirts. So if we land on one of those, we'll have a t-shirt roulette. If we land on somebody's name, they go away with the signed Wings of Pegasus pick in the middle of the wheel. So let's give the wheel a spin and see who is going to win. As you guys know, I'm maintaining my 0% record of picking the top tip, which I'm going to have to start renaming, not as the top tip, but maybe the cursed wheel name or something. Because they're destined to lose. Right, let me see. I can't see Tom's name anywhere, but it's going to be either Terry or Jennifer. Is it going to get as far as Jennifer? And it has done. I thought maybe it'd get as far as Kevin, but it is Jennifer who is the winner tonight. So congratulations to you. And if you can let yourself be known to Carla in that live chat room, that would be much appreciated, so that she can get your details and we can organise everything and get that sent off to you. So, as I always say, you have to be in it to win it. You have to be in the live chat room when your name shows up so that we can get all the details from you and Carla can get in touch with you. So we are looking into the live chat room for Jennifer's name, and I'm having a little look down there. I can't see the name at the moment, but I will keep an eye out for it. And it looks like we have got some bot trolls, possibly from what Carla is saying. And the thing is about these bot trolls is, no matter which words you type in to try and block them, they will find other words to put in their in their title so that YouTube doesn't block them. But I'm sure that it will go through again. Everyone can just ignore those. But having a little look into the live chat room, can't see Jennifer's name anywhere. But if you want to double your chances, if you didn't win tonight, again, commiserations, and commiserations to Tom as well, the top tip, so apologies for that. But if you want to double your chances of winning, make sure that you tune in on a Tuesday and a Saturday, because then obviously you're going to have more chance, rather than just spending all of your time in one live stream hoping to get lucky on that one wheel. You can double your chances. So let's have a little look. I don't think I've seen Jennifer's name go through yet. We're going to have to keep a really close eye on that live chat room, but hopefully Jennifer is in there somewhere. Right, let's get back to the normal screen. Here we are. Right, so we are now going to be opening the entries for next week's Pick Roulette wheel, and let me just write down the example of how to enter for next week's Pick Roulette. And I have to actually think of what I need to do. I'm tagging Carla Murray in my comment and then typing I agree, ! Or you can type I agree and then tag Carla in your comment. The most important thing is to tag Carla and only do it once, please. So if this is your first live stream and you haven't been on a Pick Roulette wheel before, just copy what everybody's doing here, and that's all you need to do. Just look at all of those comments going through. Great time to look into that live chat room to enter for next week. And we do always have a Pick Roulette whenever we hit the goal, and it will always be the week after. So tonight, when you're typing I agree, this is to enter in for next Tuesday's Pick Roulette. So not the one on Saturdays. It isn't the next live stream. It's literally the next week. So just so you know that that is the case, that's how we do it. Then if you type I agree and tag Carla Murray in your comment, your name will be on next week's Pick Roulette. Right, I think we are pretty much organised with everything. And let me just get into that super chat window, because LaBelle has donated £2, so thank you for that. And the message is, only asked for poster, soz for need to delete comment. So thank you for that. And I can't see the comment that was deleted, so I can't read what it was, but I'm sure, yeah, it wasn't anything too bad. The other thing is to mention that sometimes I know that when everything's going crazy in that live chat room, in the past there has been an accidental timeout or an accidental, click on a button that wasn't meant. So if that does happen, or if you have been not blocked, but if you've been timed out or hidden or something, occasionally it might be the case that it was a missed click, unless there was a contravening, if that's the right word, contravening of the guidelines, which are at wingsofpegasus.com. Let me get the website up on screen so you guys can see it. I mean, it's self-explanatory, wingsofpegasus.com, and there'll be a page on the website that is to do with live streams, and you can have a look at the guidelines on there. And there are particular guidelines, so if you do breach one of those, breach is probably a better word, if you breach the guidelines on there, then that's where sometimes the comments will be hidden or removed, deleted, and that's where you can go to find the guidelines there. wingsofpegasus.com. Right, that's all organised. I think we are still getting some entries to next week's Pick Roulette. Right, so this is always the time in the live stream where we decide what we're going to do. It's 14 minutes past 1, probably not enough time for a fill tune, so we have started to look at riffs from Riff of the Week. So what I'm going to do is maybe throw this out there. If you guys want to give me a number between 1 and 100, we'll look at a riff and see if we can guess what it is. And I should really know all of them, but I'm sure at some point there's going to be one that I don't know, that I can't remember. Right, let's throw this out into the live chat room. So a number between 1 and 100. And hopefully we won't pick one that we've picked before. I suppose that could happen at some point because I'm not making a note of which number's been chosen. Right. Here we go. We've got some in the 20s. And in the 80s, 22, 21, 60s. I think we had one in the 60s last time. 49, 60, 69, 55, 26, 22 from Paul. I think we might go for a number 20 something, maybe 22 or 25. I think we'll go for 22. So I'm going to type this in. A riff of the week 22. And that should get us there. I'm hoping we haven't seen 22 recently. But just quickly, Stan donated $5. Thank you for that, Stan. And the message was, hello, Phil, and all the wingers, report bots to YouTube and they will eventually shut them down. So thank you for that, Stan. Good advice there. There might be some dots next to the bots' messages, and if you click on that and then report it as spam or something, then yeah, I'm sure YouTube will sort them out because it's obviously an account that's been set up to spam live streams, and is a good sign that it's trying to target this one because they must be quite popular. So there's always a silver lining to the bot cloud. But right, what are we doing? I just typed in Riff of the Week number 22, and let me get this loaded up so that we can actually watch it, and it's going to go straight into it. So let me get this up on screen so you guys can join in and watch it. Right, volume is up. I think we're ready to go. Let's see what this is. And you don't win anything, but the first person to guess it wins. The first person in the live chat room you can see on the screen. So people's chats go through in different orders. So it is all about on the screen that you are looking at, my live chat room. Right, let's jump into it and see what it is. It's going to be an easy one. That is so difficult to not sing the opening line of that song because it's one of my favourite songs by this particular band. So let's throw it out there into the live chat room. And here we go. Lisa says photograph, and that's Lisa W. Let me see if that's the first one that goes through. And it was, yeah, Lisa says photograph. Carla says autograph. So similar, but yeah, Lisa W is the winner for tonight. One of those songs, and yeah, like I said, coming in with that, my love, got a photograph, picture of. You just can't. Well, I can't get that out of my head as soon as I hear that. Obviously. Actually, this is a song that was... Let me just check, because I want to make sure that I'm not imagining this. it was a song that's recently been covered by Mackie, who messaged me over on Facebook asking me to go and check out his cover of Photographed by Def Leppard. So that's just a bit of a, coincidence that... oh, you can see the messages on screen. So this is the t-shirt wheels, but it was, Mackie who did it there. And because you can see that, I'm trying to see what you guys can see on screen. I think we've maybe I just won't show you all of the messages. So let's get that off the screen. But yeah, you can see all of the messages that I go through on Facebook before the live stream. But that was Mackie. What I'm going to do is, I'm sure Mackie doesn't mind that I showed his message or messages on screen, because he has a cover that he's done. And yes, it was Photographed by Def Leppard, the last one. So I'm sure that I checked it out recently. It must have been maybe last night. So that's just a little bit of a coincidence that it happened to be that song. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that riff. Also, that vocal. I couldn't resist doing that. And I said to Mackie over on his video in the comment section that if there was another song that I would cover, and it had to be a Def Leppard song, I would choose that, because it's a very enjoyable one. I do like that song a lot. Anyway, thank you guys for tuning in tonight and for your very kind donations. Let me just make sure that everything is fine to call to a close, because it's gone 1:20 here in the morning. So we are pretty much, at the end of the live stream. But thank you guys for tuning in, for hitting that thumbs up as well. We've ended one off 400 likes, which is amazing. And thank you to the Tuesday crew for, again, doing such a fantastic job, even though I know Tuesdays are just more difficult for people to watch the live streams because it's normally a work evening and all that kind of stuff, and a work day the next day. But thank you guys for tuning in. And Orlando says my answer showed up first on my feed, so thank you for that, Orlando. And this is the thing, that people show up in different orders, but I get the messages in the order that I think they've been posted. So by the time the signal goes to my stream and then comes back, it's now organizing it on your computer screens. So the comments come to me, they get shown up, but the comments come to me and then go back to you, and those are the ones where the orders change, because it has to do a little bit of processing before you see it on the screen. But this is literally a live capture of every single comment that comes in as it comes in. So that's why it is the live chat room that is the definitive order. So anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. Congratulations, to Lisa for getting that. You don't win anything apart from just the satisfaction of getting there first. Right, we are going to be having another video tomorrow night, part 2 of the Pavarotti analysis, I do believe, is what's set to come out tomorrow night. So make sure you tune into that. And we've got another analysis video coming away on Friday. I'll keep you guys in the loop about the whole copyright situation with the Led Zeppelin video with Chris over on Patreon. And then we're going to be live streaming again on Saturday night. So thank you guys for tuning in tonight, and just for watching the video, subscribing, hitting the thumbs up, all of that cool stuff, and the donations as well. It's all massively appreciated. I'll see you guys tomorrow night at that video. If I don't see you then, I might see you on Friday for another video. If I don't see you then, I'll see you again at the live stream on Saturday night. So huge shout out to the moderators for doing such a fantastic job. But stay safe and stay sane if at all possible. And I will catch you guys at the next one. Rock!